From the FactoryTalk View application in the Explorer window, servers can be added to an application. In this example, right-clicking on the FactoryTalk View application brings up a menu where you can add a new server. The server options are FactoryTalk OPC data servers, and the FactoryTalk Alarm and Event server. For any of the three server options, the name cannot contain dashes or hyphens, nor can it be changed after its creation. For the FactoryTalk data server, keep the default name. Localhost indicates that the FactoryTalk server will execute on the local machine. In FactoryTalk View SE software, local and remote servers reference the FactoryTalk View SE client. If a data server is on a different computer than the client, which is most common, the server is considered remote. Local data servers reside on the same computer as the client. RSLinx Classic software serves OPC data to the Rockwell Automation line of programmable controllers, as well as third-party controllers via third-party OPC clients. The Browse button opens the Available OPC Data Servers dialog box. Select the RSLinx OPC Server option when using RSLinx Classic software in a FactoryTalk View SE local application. Failure to do so can result in difficulty accessing OPC topics. You must configure an OPC topic in RSLinx Classic software in order for it to be used by the OPC data server in your FactoryTalk View SE application. Selecting topic configuration from the DDE OPC menu opens the DDE OPC topic configuration dialog box. You can create a topic for any controller you want to communicate with. RSLinx Classic topics can also be automatically created by downloading to a controller using the software. This feature is enabled by default, but can be disabled by the user. You only need an OPC topic if you are using an OPC server. An OPC topic is not needed if you are using FactoryTalk Links server. You must run RSLinx Classic software as an application rather than a service to configure drivers and perform other software tasks. In the Communication Setup Editor, you can create device shortcuts and add drivers and devices. The Communication Setup Editor consists of a Device Shortcuts area, Primary tab, Shortcut Properties table, Status Message field. Click the plus sign on the icons for more information. In the Primary tab, you can view the communication configuration on the local computer and the properties associated with this computer's primary FactoryTalk Links data server. In the Device Shortcuts area, you can create shortcuts to enable an application to access data from devices, usually controllers, in the production control system. In the Shortcut Properties table, you can configure additional properties for the selected shortcut, such as an offline tag file, or enable FactoryTalk alarms and events support. In the Status Message field, you can view status information and configuration guidance as you set up your shortcuts. Device shortcuts are stored in each FactoryTalk View application versus being associated with the FactoryTalk Linx server itself. Each application can have its own set of device shortcuts for a particular server. Shortcuts are not copied over from one application to another. Even if you are using the same computer to create multiple applications, each application must have its own set of shortcuts defined. If you restore the FactoryTalk directory using the Restore option and/or restore a .apa file, you must manually review and verify the configuration to ensure that device shortcuts contained in that directory or application file point to the intended physical devices. FactoryTalk Live Data Test Client reads and writes data items contained in FactoryTalk data servers or OPC data servers. It groups data items together to test the communications network by enabling or disabling individual data items or groups of data items. The FactoryTalk Live Data Test Client is compatible for both network and local directories. To monitor the status of data items, or read or write their values, you must connect to the data server that is hosting the data items. Data server tags, also called direct reference tags, are referred to as data items within the FactoryTalk Live Data Test Client to match OPC-DA specification. There are three different initial connections. OPC-DA server connects to an OPC server, such as RSLinx Classic. FactoryTalk connects to the FactoryTalk Linx server. Load config file loads a configuration file containing data items from an OPC server or FactoryTalk server. OPC-DA stands for OPC Data Access. It is an OPC Foundation specification that defines how real-time data can be transferred between a data source and a data sink, for example, a controller and an HMI, without either of them having to know each other's native protocol. If you are already connected to a data server and want to connect to a different type of data server, save the groups you are monitoring. Connecting to a different server deletes all of the current groups. Data items are created in a group from a single data server. You can create a group for a single data server, such as an RSLinx Classic topic, or various FactoryTalk View SE data servers. You cannot group data items together from an OPC server and a FactoryTalk server. The name can be up to 15 characters long. More than 15 characters will be truncated when shown in the main window. For best performance, the update rate should be 250 milliseconds or more. You can add one or more data items to the currently displayed group by selecting Add Item from the Data menu. When the active checkbox is selected, the data item value is updated once per group update rate. You can change the group update rate to increase or decrease the rate at which all data items in the group are updated. The rate at which the data server is updating the data item value is shown in the Updates by Second column of the viewer. If the data server is sending data faster than the screen update rate, some changes to data items will not be displayed. If the data server is sending data slower than the screen update rate, the FactoryTalk Live Data Test Client might be generating unnecessary traffic on the network. Here is a guided activity on how to monitor data using the FactoryTalk Live Data Test client. Follow the instructions on the screen to perform the steps. Click Start when you're ready.